Welcome to Business Reporter's UK 2030 campaign. I'm Rachel Hicks. Have you ever bought property? Then you must know the trials and tribulations of the process. The reams of paperwork, the long waiting, the complex process and the frustration of the enduring legal correspondence. Conveyancers, solicitors, legal and paralegal professionals feel no different. In order to both comply with the law and to close a deal successfully and safely, we need to tick all boxes. And to tick all boxes, we need to gather, check and process a tsunami of information. How could we become more efficient, faster without the compromise of quality? We've invited Kris, Katriona O'Hare and Tracy Burtwell from SearchFlow to discuss the right solution and what the future of property transactions may look like. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, the government has pledged to improve the home buying experience, but what's standing in the way of those improvements? What is the problem?
So I don't think there's one single issue that was identified in the government's white paper to improve the home buying process, more a series of themes. So there isn't a silver bullet that's going to fix everything. 10 years ago, we saw the average time to complete a transaction was between 11 to 12 weeks. In 2018, 10 years later, we're actually seeing that that's expanded to 16 to 18 weeks, with abortive transactions, so house sales that don't go through, have increased to almost 50% within that same time frame.
The government call for evidence, the Ministry for Housing, Communities and Local Government, was asking property professionals and the public to comment on what they perceived to be the delays in the market and why was it taking so long to move house. And anecdotally, we in the search industry thought we might be held to account in some ways for some of the delays that were taking place. But coming out of the call for evidence, we've recognised that in fact search companies add a lot of value to the process. We're helping to get things moving, especially with some of the transformation that we have delivered. And it's really about data, really about access to information and about sharing that transactional data that is going to become the next enabler to get things moving.
And I think although recognising that it's not the search providers that are causing some of these delays, we still recognise that there's a lot of pressure on the conveyancers, even with all this new technology, and we need to do our bit to improve. So we need to look at how we can support our customers better going forward.
So it sounds like all the elements are there, but the dots are just somehow not connecting. So what's your experience of inefficiencies and backlogs in the system, and how have you helped to change it?
So SearchFlow see 1 in 4 property transactions flow through their systems. We actually deliver over 1 million conveyancing searches and legal reports every year to support both the residential and the commercial property markets. But we're actually part of a much bigger property data group, and so that gives us a real good insight into what's happening in the marketplace.
Through the process that we undertook, we engaged with lots of property professionals. We spoke to conveyancers, we spoke to estate agents, and we started to understand that as well as them being our customers in this marketplace, they also had to meet challenges of their customers. So in a push to transparency, we've really engaged the market to better understand this evolving need for digital instant access via mobile phones and the internet.
So SearchFlow have just won a double award. Congratulations. And that was for improving customer experience. So tell me, what have you changed to improve conveyancing for solicitors and for customers?
I think, firstly, to have been recognised by the UK Customer Experience Awards has made us really proud. We won gold for Best Contact Centre Small and silver for transforming the customer experience. It just shows that a B2B company like us, who's working with lawyers and estate agents quietly in the background, can go up against some of the blue chip and financial companies, and shows how much of a transformation we've been through. So for the transformation, we looked at the 3 Ps: people, product and process. So thinking about people, it was about training, it was about empowering our people so that actually they could be proactive and service our customers in the right way.
I think from a process perspective, we're now able to deliver a really proactive service to our customers, and we've actually seen a reduction of incoming calls to our call centre of 40% year on year. We've also got really good visibility through our real-time dashboards, which help us to manage our supplier relationships, but also look broader at the marketplace and what's happening, and it enables us to react faster.
And in the product world, we totally reimagined the online ordering experience for solicitors. So broadening beyond the form filling and mundane activity they previously had to do, we have made it much more automated, streamlined and increased productivity, and that's partly why we're seeing the reduction in calls into the customer service centre.
And I'm assuming that's a good thing that you've seen a reduction of calls into the customer service centre.
Yes, it is, because it means we're working in a much more proactive way, whereas previously we had a reactive call centre approach to things. We have proactive, productive, case-driven technology that allows a solicitor to find their way through the entire case from a search perspective. It would just be great if we could extend that technology to the entire transaction.
And I think from a customer perspective, the fact that actually it gives us more time to spend with our customers and actually make sure that we get it right for the customer the first time.
So what are the 3 key takeaways from today?
I think from a people perspective, it is about that training. It's about giving your people the right data so that they can be agile. We talked a bit about the fact that we have KPI boards. What it means is that actually if we see if there's a problem, it means that they can swarm around that problem and sort it out for the customer proactively, quickly, and solve it actually before the customer even knows that something's happened.
And I think from a process perspective, we've recognised that we're never going to be finished. So we've adopted a mindset that we are going to continually improve our processes and enhance those processes, but working in partnership with our clients to make that happen. It's all about the conversation and making sure that we're agile enough to change and adapt to market trends and changes.
And I think in the product world, we definitely understood that there weren't just expectations customers had from us as a service provider, but we were layering an extra layer of expectation back onto the customer by asking them to fill in too many forms, provide too much information, when in actual fact we held some of that data elsewhere in the industry. So understand your customers, understand the expectations, and work in partnership to truly refine your processes to something that gets people moving, as we say.
Sounds like you're firing on all cylinders. So what's next for SearchFlow?
I think from a people perspective, we need to talk to our customers. You know, we talk about our employees, but we need to keep talking to our customers, and we need to be agile enough that if things change within the industry, we can react and change quickly with it.
As a market leader, we have an obligation to sit at the core of what we do. So if the search process has to change, we have to get there and we have to do it first. And I think that taking that opportunity and using new technologies such as AI and machine learning, I think we can start to properly automate some of the processes for the first time. We've done things like experiment and prototype chatbots, which would enable a sort of 24/7 digital service into our customer environment, a new digital offering, if you like, that would sit alongside our traditional customer service model.
Tracy, Kris and Katriona from SearchFlow, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.